It's Labor Day weekend, the traditional kickoff to the home stretch of the presidential campaign. Here with me now is Democratic Senate candidate from California, Congressman Adam Schiff. I want to talk to you about the campaign in 1 minute, but first, you are in Oakland, California right now. That is where the Goldberg-Polin family is originally from, and I want to get your reaction to the murder of Israeli-American hostage Hersh Goldberg-Polin and 5 others.
Well, when I heard the news last night, I felt sick. I am just absolutely heartbroken for Hersh's family, for the families of these other hostages that were butchered by these Hamas terrorists. And it just is hard to wrap your head around. I think we all came to know Hersh through his family, and it's just devastating. And these sons of bitches who did this ought to be hunted down and brought to justice, no matter how long that takes. I hope and pray, I think as we all do, that there's a negotiated end to this war, and soon, and that not another innocent person loses their life. And I just can't imagine how his family must feel right now.
Congressman, you just heard the Nutras, whose son Omer is also in captivity, call not just on Prime Minister Netanyahu, but President Biden multiple times to do more to get these hostages, particularly Americans, home. I asked her about a prayer that she says every day, and she's clearly done with prayers. She's frustrated, understandably. I'm hearing anecdotally from people saying, this is the United States of America, and the fact that the American president and American administration can't get American citizens held in these conditions back is very frustrating, and a little bit, they're flabbergasted by it. How can the Biden administration answer those frustrations right now? Well, first of all, I think the parents of the hostages are doing exactly what they should be doing, exactly what I would be doing in their shoes, as difficult as it is to imagine the horror of standing where they're standing, and that is pleading, advocating, doing everything possible to get the Israeli government to agree to an end to the war that releases their family members, and also call upon the president and vice president to do everything they can. And I think they are. I think President Biden and Vice President Harris are turning over every stone in their efforts to secure the release of the hostages and protect the lives of the hostages and achieve a ceasefire. I don't think they go a waking moment without focusing on this. We're not putting boots on the ground in these tunnels under Gaza, so it is a very difficult situation in terms of our own ability to rescue these hostages. But I really sincerely believe the administration is doing everything possible and is committed not only to an end to the war in which the threat from Hamas is eliminated, in which we are on a path at some point, and I pray soon, to a regional and two-state solution that achieves a lasting peace in the region. But I really believe they're doing all they possibly can. Congressman, I want to turn back domestically to the presidential race, which is 65 days away. Election day is. I want you to listen to how Vice President Harris answered my question this week about a key issue in the campaign.
In 2019, you said, quote, "There is no question I'm in favor of banning fracking." Fracking, as you know, is a pretty big issue, sure, particularly in your must-win state of Pennsylvania. Sure. Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020, that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
You're a co-sponsor of a House bill right now that would ban fracking. Are you disappointed that she supports it now?
Well, look, I favor banning fracking, and I strongly believe that the pathway to
Attacking climate change is to wean ourselves off of fossil fuels. But look, I'm not the Vice President of the United States, and I do think that when you are representing the whole country, you have a different perspective. As the Vice President pointed out, her values, though, have remained consistent, and that is she is a champion of moving ourselves in the renewable energy direction. Her role in passing the Inflation Reduction Act, the most aggressive attack on climate change in our history, I think speaks for itself. But look, let's compare a situation where someone changed their position 4 years ago to Donald Trump, who's changed his position 4 times on abortion in the last 48 hours. That, to me, is a much more significant question, particularly as when you're talking about abortion and you're talking about a right and freedom of the American people to be so pandering, wishy-washy, flip-flopping, so disrespectful of the rights and freedoms of millions of American women, and do all that in a single day. That's the contrast here. And what's more, Dana, that's a values issue. That's a values issue when on something like the right to an abortion, you flip-flop every 15 minutes. That shows essentially he has no values.
Congressman, Special Counsel Jack Smith filed a new indictment against Donald Trump this week for election interference, even after the Supreme Court ruling on immunity. And it comes as 2 pro-Trump organizations are slated to hold a January 6th awards gala at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster to pay tribute to all J6 defendants. Now, Trump has been invited to speak. Organizers say he hasn't ruled it out. What's your response to the fact that he's, whether he goes or not, that he's allowing his property to be used for this event?
Well, first of all, the Justice Department is exactly right to be refiling these charges after that just absurdly dangerous Supreme Court decision attempting to give immunity to a president to commit crimes while they're in office. So he's right to refile these charges, but for the president to allow, this event to go forward, celebrating these people who beat, who gassed, who bear sprayed, who were responsible for the deaths of police officers, who essentially tried to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power the first time in our history, shows you that for Donald Trump, he could, give a damn about the country, about the Constitution, about the oath of office. It's only about him, and to glorify these people also is a green light to further violence should he lose the upcoming election. So just another dangerous, disrespectful acquiescence in lawlessness by Donald Trump and his enablers.
Congressman Adam Schiff, candidate for Senate in the great state of California, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks, Dana.